Hello folks, new day, a new rifle, another FX this time. This one's the FX Crown. It's done in a Stephen Brown custom stock, and if there's anything out there like gun porn, this is it. I mean, it's gorgeous stock on it. It's done in like a grey and purple, and it really does add to the looks of the rifle. Unlike most FX rifles, you can really tune it up. Got different spring and portage adjustments, got valve adjustments, everything, so it can be really fine tuned. Fitted to it is a vector optic scope and a Huggett silencer, and it is shrouded. It's got an adjustable butt pad, adjustable cheek piece, really nice trigger adjusting on it, so probably it's definitely at the top of the ladder as far as air guns go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to test 6 pellets out through it with the H&N terminators, the Acapels, sovereigns, and then we'll move up to the heavier ones, which would be the Hades, the GSP 10.34s and the Barracuda Match. So basically from light to medium to heavy, and see how it performs at 20 yards, and probably in the next day or two I'll take it down in the range and we'll push it out to 50 yards or more. So that is the FX Crown with a smooth Twitex barrel, and this one belongs to Rob Taylor. So let's get on with the test. Okay then folks, starting off with the H&N terminators, and they weigh 7.25 grains. It's not a multi-shot magazine in the bag, so I'm going with the single shot loader that's already on. So I'm going to go for the centred target, see where it's shooting. More or less on. Let's go up a bit. Okay, that should be it. So, first shot, the terminators with the top left. Now these are great little pellets. They come out fast, they expand well, they are accurate, and when they hit the paper target it punches like a wad cutter, so you get a nice round hole. So it can be used for any situation really. Okay, now the wind is blowing to the right, so that's why it's just off centre. So accurate, and you'd expect it to be. So the next one up will be Rangemaster Sovereigns. Same as before, going for the centre target. That's about on. So I'm going straight for the test now. I'm going to go in an anti-clockwise position, so these are going to go to the black dot below it. So not as good as the actual Terminators. Could do better, I suppose, in a different condition, I don't know. So the next one up is the Webley Akipel Crossman Premiers. Really nice rifle, the Crown. If you want a classic looking rifle, it's the one to go for. Okay, then centre target. Try another one. Might be just a tad lower than the others, but we are getting heavier as we go up, but not a lot. That's about right. So I'm going to go bottom left. Okay, yeah, I think the wind's having an effect on that. It's definitely pushing it to the right. So now we're going to be moving on to the Avenue pellets, and the first two will be 10.34 grains, starting off with the Hades, and followed by the JSPs, and then the final one is the 10.65 Gap Barracuda Match, which is similar to the Bisley Magnums. Okay, then centre target. It's actually gone high. It shows you this is an efficient pellet. This is the one I use for chronographing, so now you always get good results for power out of them. Do another one. Similar. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Bottom right. See the group forming now. So that was the Hades. Next up will be the JSP 1034s. I've got a feeling these will do well. And again, the Hades didn't do as good as I thought it would. Okay. Centre target. Go for it now. So I'm going for the black dot on the right, centre right. So they did alright, and if you can get them, they're a good pellet. So the final one up then, the Barracuda Match. weigh 10.65 grains. Centre target. Okay, just made that hole bigger, haven't I? So I'm just going to go for it, see what group we get. So last shot then will be top right. Shooting really well. They normally do actually, through most of my barrel. The heavier weight counteracts the wind in some respects on a sub 12. So, looking at the results then, people don't use these pellets because I think they don't think they're going to be any good. But if you've been watching my videos, they've been coming out on top of most rifles. So the best pellet in this test has been the H&M Terminators. That will be followed, I'd say, by the Barracuda Match. And Hades and JSPs. So they'll be the pellets I'll be using in the test down at the range. I'm excluding these. Right, just get that right, hang on a minute. No, got that wrong, didn't I? It was Range Master Sovereign, that's it. So the top left is the Terminator, followed by the Sovereigns. And then if you look to the right, it was centre right, there was the JSPs, followed by the Barracuda Match. So they're the four I'll be taking. The two that didn't shoot so good were these two. It don't mean to say they won't shoot well through it, they just didn't shoot well when I shot them today. That could have been down to me, it could have been down to the wind. But in any case, 4 pellets on test at the range with the Terminator, the Sovereign, JSP 10.34s and the Barracuda Match at 10.65. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a power test and also a sound test. See what how quiet the moderator and shroud is. It's a combination. So up next will be the sound test. Okay, for the sound test I'm going to fire 6 shots. see how we did. Okay then folks, with the FX Crown Smooth Twist X, lovely rifle as you can see, great stock on it. Safety catch just above the trigger, so it's on when it's facing forward. Push it down, nothing in it to fire it. Very quiet, that Hugget silencer does a great job. So as you can see, safety catch just there, ergonomic trigger guard, fantastic stock, adjustable cheek piece, adjustable rear butt pad there, you can go up and down with it as well. There's adjustment for that, and there's adjustment for reach as well, so it'll suit all sizes. It feels really comfortable, not too heavy. And then on this side you've actually got your adjustment. The back one, that's a spring adjustment for the hammer spring, at the front basically got a choke there. It restricts the airflow coming through the transfer port, so depending on the calibre you've got or whatever, you can raise or lower the power there. And then it's got an adjustable regulator, the MP regulator, which you can adjust on it as well. Filling it up, you've got fill port underneath, just there, and you've got your pressure gauge for your cylinder and pressure gauge for your regulator on the bottom there. So on this one in 177, the regulator set at 120 bar I think, and we've got about 170 bar in the cylinder. You'll get loads of shots from this, you'll easily get a tin of pellets out of it. Rob's fitted a really nice spectre optic scope on it, it is illuminated. One click is 1 minute of angle at 100 yards, so there's plenty of adjustment on the scope itself. So then going through the sheet, this one, it's the Mark 1 version from what I can see. So the Mark 1 hammer power adjuster, which is the dial at the back, and then you've got the airflow adjuster as the choke at the front dial. Externally adjustable AMP regulator, ability to change calibers and twist rates through the super light smooth twist X barrel liner system. So depending on what you find, pellets or slugs, you can get different rates of twist, which can help, especially on the slug side of it. Highest capacity magazine systems, well I've not got one on this one, it's probably a tone with Rob. I've got his single shot loader on this, which is a 3D printed one, but I know they come in massive shot counts, like 28 shots and 22 shots, whatever calibre you've got. Now they come in walnut stocks, synthetic stocks, laminate stocks, and so on this one it's got the 480cc carbon fibre wrap bottle. The Mark II's, the difference is you've got increased power due to the modifications to the valve and the porting. Plus you've got a 28% larger plenum over the Mark 1, so it actually adds to the power, so it's more powerful in the Mark II. That's if you've got an FAC or if you live in the US or anywhere else where there's no restrictions on power. Also on the new Mark II you've got a 20 minute of angle built in to the Picatinny rail, so that comes into its own when you're doing long shooting at 100 yards or above. And they also with the Mark II you've got the option to have a Norwegian GSR stock fitted as an available option. comes offered as a stripped down base model, so you can add your own stock, such as a Sabre Tactical Crown chassis as well. So then, the barrels. The Crown standard is a 500mm barrel. You've got a Crown Standard Plus, which is a 600mm barrel. Crown Continuum cut out case equipped with Picatinny rail action, and it's got a 380mm barrel and a 700mm barrel, but not available in 177. But you'll be able to get it in 22, 25 and 30 calibre. Then you've got the Crown VP edition. And the VP edition is the entry level of the Crown with a synthetic stock, aluminium bottle and a 500mm barrel. So if you've not got the money to buy the top end, that's the one you can start off with, and then you can adjust it later on. Crown base is the action without a stock or barrel, so you're really struggling there. So I suppose if you can't afford it, you can save up for your Crown base and then add it as you save up your money if you want to do it like that. Now it doesn't say all the different powers because every country can be different. So what it is saying is the maximum energy available using the longest barrels. And in 177 they get up to 28 foot-pound, in 22 up to 54 foot-pound, in 25 up to 65 foot-pound, and in 30 up to 75 foot-pound. Now some of those powers there, I would imagine, would depend on what you're shooting through it. Now at 65 foot-pound in 2.5 or 54 pound in 2.2, you'd probably be shooting slugs. Then again, it's got different rates of twist barrels and things, so you might shoot a pellet, but normally once you get above a certain velocity, once you start cracking the sound barrier, pellets start having problems. But that is the introduction to the FX Crown. I've enjoyed shooting it. It's a really nice smoothie silk rifle, and as far as it goes with tuning, you can tune it up to the pellet you're shooting. So if you're finding your pellet's not shooting very good, I suppose you could adjust the speed of the pellet to suit it. But the pellets I'm going with when I go down the range will be the Terminators. They seem to do well. Sovereigns, the exact heavies in JSB, and the Barracuda Match. Now the other two pellets had the H&N Hades and the, what was the other one? The Webley Acupel. They didn't group so well, as you'll see on the target sheet. But then again, because it's an adjustable powered rifle, you could probably adjust it to suit the pellet. So I mean, it's typical Frederick Axelson. He's thought of everything. And if you're the sort of person that likes to fiddle and tune, it's the rifle for you. If you just want a rifle off the shelf, it will still probably do. You just leave it where it's at, or just tune it in for one particular pellet and stick with that. So the powers that I was getting, I will post that on the video now, and you'll see what the powers are getting. But like I say, all the powers that I was getting there can be adjusted, so you could go higher or lower, because that's the way this rifle is. Probably among the most tunable rifles from FX and mechanically, because you've got lots of options With the day states that I've come across, the electronics, they're getting to the stage now where you just put in the velocity you want, and the chronograph will get you that velocity within 3 shots. So depends how you want to go. I mean, some people like fiddling in tune, like I say. Others, they just want to get a rifle and shoot it, which is still as good because you find what suits the barrel, you shoot it, and just use your mil dots or whatever. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.